We're gonna go up here and work. Edward's just feeding some of the animals, and we're gonna get some stuff put up on the barn so we can get more and more dried in. All right, we'll get to it. Friends, well, it's early morning, and guess what? That's right. You know what that is? Snow on the porch. It is slick out. We have maybe a quarter of an inch, maybe a little bit more than that. And I'm gonna go do animal chores. But first, get these grouchy kitties some kitty food. Want some breakfast before the donkeys up? Come on. Yeah. Whew. It is cold. So, I'll hold the railing as I go down. If any of you know me, which I think enough of you do, know that I love this all seasons, but there's something particularly special about snow. And so I'm really happy that it's here, although I'm feeling frustrated. So let me go into this dark place and get chicken food. Be right back. All right, have the chicken feed. So you might be wondering why I could be frustrated on a day where there's snow on the ground for the first time this winter. Well, it's not winter yet, it's still fall. Folks, I'm frustrated because I spend a tremendous amount of time planning and getting things going, and all my planning, hold on, I'm in the chicken coop, I've got to clean it. Oh, let's get these ladies something here. In all my planning and efforts and requesting to get things done. Look at these ladies over here. Yeah. Trying to stay ahead of the game seems to be a very lonely job sometimes. And I feel frustrated about it. How you doing, Mamacita? No, you're not a mama. night. Checking on the rabbit. We got rabbits doing fine. Anyway, I'm frustrated because I feel very alone sometimes. Do you guys feel that way? Anyway, I'm not alone, but I feel that way. So, anyway, everybody in the house is sleeping. Still, I am looking at a beautiful sunrise. Well, the makings of a beautiful sunrise. I wish you could see the definition, the color in the clouds. But we are not dried in at the barn, and I feel like that if we're gonna get dried in, I gotta go do it myself. So I'm gonna start moving in that direction. Today, I mean, we work during the day, so that's a huge part of our day that's missing from productivity on the farm. Other productivity, but not on the farm. And so this morning I'm going to work on putting up some fencing. I'm not going to bring the camera with that because you guys have seen me do it a million times. Well, maybe not a million, but it feels like my phalanges feel like it's a million. And I've asked Edward to put the Skywalker up because I'm going to get up there and I'm going to start taking measurements of where we're going to put our strapping. I don't know if I'll get to that this morning, but I'm going to try. I've got to get fencing up so that when we do move the animals over into the stalls that we have the ability to do so successfully with minimal issues. Now, Edward was really great and he put on all the T-posts. We do have 4 of the in-ground spikes that have not been put in yet. I don't know if they'll be able to be put in because this ground is frozen. Obviously, because the snow stayed. It snowed for a good part of the day yesterday and last night until about 10, and then it let up and the snow is still here this morning and it is cold. I don't know what the temperature is, but cold enough to prevent the snow from melting. So we got to get up there and finish up the build. This is what we've got to do. We've got to put the strapping on the roof panels up. We have a little bit more siding to put up and we have some fence pickets to put up. We've got all the doors to do still. And most of the anchors got put in, not all the anchors got put in. I think that we just ran out of good weather. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. I know that it's supposed to get into the 40s today. I just don't know that that's going to be warm enough to melt or to bring down or raise the temperature of the ground enough to get anything in it. But we'll see. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get the feed for the lamb and the goats, and I'm going to head up there and start looking at what I need to get for fencing. I'll catch up with you guys later. It snowed. Come on, Toby. Meow, meow. I know. Hi, Norman. Did you stay warm, Norm? I have to go to the hardware, not the hardware store, but the farm store. I've got to get T-post clips, and I got to get some gate latches. Once I have that, I should be able to put up the fencing. I think I have enough 17 gauge wire, so I'll probably pick up some screw eye hooks as well, because I think I need some of those. So I've got to go do that. And right now the ground is pretty frozen. So what do you guys think about that sunrise? Isn't it gorgeous? Stunning.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel, to the homestead here. And this morning, if you can't tell by my attire, it is quite cold. I think it's about like 33 degrees, but it feels like it's in the upper 20s. Beautiful morning, but it's just cold, hence the Nanook of the North trapper hat. But today we are going to try and make a little bit more progress on our barn build. We are getting so close to the finish line here, and I think each day that we get another element done, we are so excited and happy about that. Now, today, our big push is to start getting some roof strapping up and get some metal roofing up there so that we can start drying this barn in. And once we get the roof on, everything's gonna be downhill from there. It's gonna be so much easier. So you can kind of see we want to get this roof on so that we can actually start finishing up kind of see the last little bit of siding. I'll take you guys outside here so you can see. But yeah, so you can kind of see that little band across the top there, and a little section here, and then you see that same band up there, and then kind of the roof eave there, getting that little section there also sided, because if we can do that and get the roof on, that's going to be huge, because that means everything will be dried in, and then we can do much more simpler things like building doors. We got to cut a section out there and on each of these other doors, because the plywood is covering up the full height of the door. But yeah, the idea is try and get as much of the roof on as we can today, because today is supposed to be sunny and a beautiful day. Nice day to get some major progress done on the barn. Tomorrow is supposed to be kind of cloudy, rainy, potentially snowy. Not a good day to be up working on a roof. And then I think this next week here we have about three to 4 days, maybe, I think 3 days of good weather days to be out here working on the roof. So hopefully, we were trying to get the roof on by the end of this week. I don't know if that's going to happen, just because there's a lot of strapping to put on. And you can kind of see, I'll kind of take you guys back here, but we have from that end over to this end is about 36 feet. And these roof rafters, I think from the edge of the roof rafters up to the peak there, I think is a little bit over 14 feet. Depending on how close we do our strapping, we were talking about doing it every foot. Every 12 inches having a piece of strapping. I don't know if we need that much, but we'll kind of take a look and see what's kind of standard for that. But I think it'll be beneficial either way. We have plenty of strapping material. I think we bought 100. I think we ended up getting like 100 pieces of strapping, and each piece is like 16 feet long. So if it's 14 feet, that would be 14 times. It's going to take about 3 to go across, so around 42, something like that. So either way, we're going to have plenty of strapping to do this roof line here. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, and we got our scaffolding set up. We're going to secure that with some ratchet straps so that that doesn't move around while we're up there. And then we're going to just start measuring, strapping, making cuts, and I'll probably end up creating a little bit of a jig for spacing so that I can get consistent spacing across the board, so there's no variances with that, and that'll make it easier so we don't have to measure every single spacing on those. We can just put that little piece of wood up there and know that it's going to be consistent and the same all the way across the roof line. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Gloria's on her way up here, and we're just going to start making some progress. I have to kind of go like this. Are you good? We made some good progress today. You can see up there, we're probably about 3/4 of the way down, as far as maybe 2/3 coming down this way, and going that way. We're a little
over half.
Yeah, I mean, we're right here at the second stall doorway for that top plate one.
Yeah.
But once we put the next one on, it'll just be the last like 24 inches for the top one. And then we'll continue to work our way down that way. But yeah, I'm happy with this. Much better, I think, much better idea than using the little scaffolding that we set up out there. I don't think that we might need to use that when we do the roofing panels potentially, but so far having the ladders inside here and just climbing up and screwing them in, that seems to work pretty good.
We did have to add a 2x6 right here and then a cross bracing right there, just so that he had a place to put his ladder to be able to get up into these center rafters so that he could attach the strapping. So yeah, made great progress today, babe.
It is definitely coming together. The strapping will keep the rafters, the actual rafters, from shifting, being able to move back and forth, because everything will be tied together, and I'll add some more structural integrity to our barn as we're going forward. And I mean, getting the end wall obviously was the big one for securing the whole, at least that end. But yeah, I think this would be really nice.
So
won't
now
be too difficult.
So now we should be ready to be able to, after the strapping is put, those triangle pieces in of the siding, right? The gable ends, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the gable ends, we should be able to put the siding up on there then?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that one on that one, and then we'll just have that small band that we haven't sided yet. And then we'll be able to put the roof on and it'll be dried in.
We do have weather coming in. It is going to be kind of rainy and snowy and windy the next couple days at least. So we're going to have to...
But then it's supposed to clear up.
Yeah.
And that's when we'll put the roof on.
Yeah, that's when we'll have to come back out here, finish putting strapping on, and we'll probably be able to put some more strapping on, even if it's,
It's kind of like our last ditch, because the high will be in the low 40s and the overnight lows will be in the 20s, which means if we get that roof on next week in the morning time, as long as it doesn't rain and we don't have to deal with ice on the metal roof.
Right.
Because that's scary. So we got to finish putting up the fence pickets right there that we were working on. It's just a very small amount. And then in the far corner upper side where the top areas are, there's fence pickets that go down. Those need to be attached. There's just a few, like 5 or 6 over there.
Probably
then
a little bit more.
The gable ends on both sides, the wrapping of the remaining of the walls on the outside, you can see where it's light, and then the roof, and then the barn doors, and then the animals can move in.
Yes. So there's still quite a bit to do, but
do you think we can do it before Thanksgiving?
Let's see. Well, Thanksgiving is what, the 28th? Today is the 15th. So that's basically 13 days, but really only a week and a half. I don't know if we'll get it done before Thanksgiving, just because...
That's not what I wanted to hear.
I know that's not what you wanted to hear, but I'm thinking, logistically...
Logistically speaking,
I think it's gonna...
are going to be building the doors during the storm,
right,
up on by the house under cover. So the doors for the stalls will be built.
Yeah.
It's gonna take what, like maybe 5-10 minutes, maybe max, to cover in these walls here. And then
Yeah, oh yeah. This'll take all of about 15-20 minutes to finish.
right.
That.
And in the morning time before we start work, we can always put up those gable ends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
and
think.
then wrap up the strapping, and we can start putting roofing on. So it's,
Yeah. I think we'll be really close.
No hiccups and no bad weather, unplanned bad weather, and not having to go back to the hardware store for something. Right. We could do it.
Yeah.
Look at that, guys. Oh. Fantastic.
I think we're just gonna have to call it because we got to get to we got other things we got to do before we run out of daylight, and we have time limits. So we'll get that done, and then we'll get back out here when we get better weather. So.
Yep, we're gonna call it quits for today. We're taking the day off tomorrow. We got Christmas explosion in the house that I have to deal with. So my daughter did come and help, so I'm so grateful. Thank you, Amber. And we're going to wrap up for today, and we'll pick it up in the next video. Good morning, my friends. Well, going back in the house for drill batteries. Got him. All right. Well, good morning, my friends. I'm headed up to the barn before work. As normal, here comes Maddie. Hi, Pumpkin. Anyway, we're gonna try and get some more strapping put up this morning. We didn't come out yesterday because it was snowing, and ladders, snow, not a good mix. So try and get a little bit of stuff done. 1%, right? So sometimes our 1% can feel like 110%. So let's get to it.